Hey guys, welcome back. Bite Size Bills, episode 4. I'm Enigmius, and today it's all about the triangles. That's right, we showed you this image before in a previous episode, just to kind of give you an idea of where we're going. We're not trying to duplicate this, we're just trying to make something very, very similar to it. And in order to do that, we've done some circles, we've done a couple of circles, we did some edge smoothing on those circles with microblocks. Now we need to get down to the business of the triangles, which can be almost as daunting as circles, really, when you're trying to set up a custom triangle and have all the sides look straight without it looking kind of meh. And the larger you want it to be, the harder that can be, unless you know some very, very simple tricks, which I happen to have figured out, courtesy of Google and some looking at things that other people had done. And then I'm going to share with you now 2 very simple tricks to get an equilateral triangle into your world. Now, if we're talking about doing the triangle thing, there's 2 things that we need to know that make equilateral triangles extremely simple, assuming one side of that triangle is flat. So if we're building a triangle like this, or I guess I should say straight would be a better word. Of course, I didn't draw it straight. One side, in Minecraft terms, has to be perfectly straight. So if you're building it with the blocks, they're not deviating up, down, left, right at all. They're just a straight line of blocks. If you got that, everything else is simple. First of all, the pattern that we use to get the sloped sides is right here. It's a repeating 2, 2, 1 pattern. Never mind that. That's all it is. Literally, that's all it is to get this slope. Is 2, 2, 1. If you want it longer, then you start again. 2, 2, 1. Just keep going until you get it to where you need it to be. The opposite side is exactly the same, only instead of, moving off to the right as you go up, you move off to the left, right? I mean, there's absolutely nothing complicating or difficult about this. Really, really simple and straightforward. Anyone can do it, but you have to know the tricks. Otherwise, if you don't know the tricks, it's a hell of a pain in the ass to try and get everything lined up and working the way you want it to. So there's the big one. 2, 2, 1 gets you the slope on the side that you want. The other thing is we need to be able to distinguish where the center of the triangle is. So if we take this little image here, pretending we've got a triangle, see how badly I can draw this. Quite badly. Oh, the far side is always the one that gets me. That's our triangle. Pretend we've drawn an imaginary line down the middle of that triangle, basically folding it in half. Right? Each side would be equal. If it's a proper equilateral triangle, and you're doing this in Minecraft terms, if you pretend that this segment here is made out of blocks that are divisible by 3, then you end up with what I've built here, just to kind of demonstrate. Get rid of that mess. Which is that centerpiece here. And it's divided into 3 segments. That's why it's important that it's divisible by 3, because it'll give you 3 equal segments. If you're adding this to an existing structure and you want the triangle to be a certain size and it's not quite divisible by 3, the larger the triangle is, the less of a difference it's really going to make in the long run. In this case, this is just if you have a perfect situation where you can plan the size of the triangle and you want to make this center sort of imaginary line divisible by 3, means everything else is going to fall into place. It also means that the center of our triangle is this sandstone block right here, which was a bad choice with a white pen. That's the center of the triangle there, so we'll try and redraw this a little less bad. Well, that helps a lot. We go something like that. So now this really should be on the line. But you get the idea. This is now the center point of your triangle, and this is what you can use to gauge where your triangle is relative to other things. And if you were to get out your Minecraft string, which doesn't exist, but you understand what I'm saying, you would find that this line and this line and this line here are all approximately the same length. As far as Minecraft goes, that's good enough. Literally, that's all it is just 2/3 down is your center, the 2, 2, 1 repeating pattern, equilateral triangle every time. But doesn't mean much unless we show you, so let's do that. Now, I did this whole time-lapse thing And then I realized after the fact, looking at it, that the angle that the camera is on very badly skews the field of view because we're doing this over quite a large area. So I kind of accelerated the build parts a little bit more just so that you can see it's all going into place. But then we'll get a better view of the triangle itself so that you can see just how it actually looks. If you look in the middle of the circle, just above the middle of the circle, you can see the sandstone brick in the middle of all the dirt. That's actually the middle, or sorry, 2/3 of the way down that line, starting from the left, the tip of the triangle, and going down to the straight side. That's yeah, that's how badly messed up it is. I'm doing a little bit of edge smoothing here as well. We're going to take a look at that in the next episode. We'll get in close and take a nice look. But this is what it actually looks like when we get a proper camera angle. Is the equilateral triangle is in fact an equilateral triangle. You can see where it intersects the circle, those 3 spaces. It actually looks like the little sliver of circle left over is uniform. It actually looks like it's done the way it's supposed to be done. Equilateral triangle, 2, 2, 1, and 2/3 of the way down the line. Doesn't get any easier than that. So if you want to be notified when I add the next video, you can subscribe to my channel or follow me on social media. Links for that in the information section. Please leave your comments and feedback. Thanks for watching, guys, and take care.